looks like 22, 21, 22 on my thingy there. Thermometer. 28 officially. So not too bad. Greetings, YouTube. It's Mike Haley 7 on the day after Martin Luther King Day 2020. My apologies for a video I did the other day on should you ride a motorcycle. The wind noise was terrible because I did not silence that portion of the video, accidentally of course, and so I screwed up. So I'm going to remake the video rather than re-edit. I'll just remake it. Why not? Look at this guy. Yeah, cutting that corner a little bit, aren't you, pal? I seen you coming. So today's topic is, should you ride a motorcycle? This is a video intended for anyone who is thinking about getting one. So, yeah, I think you should consider buying a motorcycle, but you have to know some things. First of all, you got to get trained, okay? So before you go riding a motorcycle, make sure you get trained. And in America, the training is really minimal. It's the Motorcycle Safety Foundation Basic Rider course. Harley-Davidson also has one. The Goldwing Road Riders Association also has one. There are many different places where you can get rider training. So if you are unfamiliar with how a motorcycle operates, definitely get the training. And if you are familiar but you've never had a training, then go get the training. It can really help. It's for the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. It's Friday evening for like 2 or 3 hours, Saturday all day, Sunday most of the day, and you learn an awful lot. I know in Europe the standards are way different, and I'm glad I don't live there because it would have been a whole lot more difficult for me to do what I'm doing. So anyway, that's the first thing, get trained. Number 2, if you're going to get into motorcycle riding, I want you to realize that there is a really good chance that you're going to break something on your body. You're going to break a leg, an arm, collarbone, something. There's a really good chance of that. Higher than, I would say, sitting around the house. Let's put it that way. But if you're in love with the feeling of the lean and the ride and the freedom of it and all that, then it's worth it. I broke my leg in 2010, terribly. I'm still limping to this day. I have a metal rod up inside my tibia. And I would do it all over again. I might not have made that goofy turn that I made in 2010. But, yeah, I don't regret anything. So just realize that. There's a good chance you're going to hurt yourself. And if you're cool with it, then all right. Another thing. You probably are going to lose people. People that ride, that you make friends with, there's a good chance they're going to die. Well, a good chance you could die. Just one of those things. Of course, you can mitigate the possibility. I know that there are people out there, and I'm sure the comments will back me up on this one, people who've been riding for 7,000 years and have never even once dropped their bike. Yeah, those people do exist. And there's a whole lot of stories about people who hurt themselves. And the ones who are dead can't tell you. But I've lost a few to motorcycle accidents over the years, and it sucks, but it happens. Another thing you should know if you're going to ride a motorcycle, it's not going to be cheap. I mean, you can start out by getting the cheap stuff like I did, but eventually the addiction takes over. You'll have multiple helmets, multiple gloves, multiple glasses, goggles, riding gear, jackets, pants, boots, accessories to the bike, upgrades, trade-ins, more bikes. It's not going to be a cheap thing. At least if you're in America, and I would say any Western country, it's not going to really be a cheap thing. So that's another thing to consider. And if you're going to get into motovlogging, well, that's a whole different level of money right there. I mean, I'm riding around right now with at least $700 worth of equipment on me in order to make this motovlog, you know what I mean? The GoPro Hero 8, the Sena 10C Pro, the Movie Studio 16. I got other cameras in the bag. I mean, it's just never ending. I don't regret any of it. I love it. I've made so many friends. That's another thing. Good thing. If you're going to ride a motorcycle, get ready to make friends. You're going to make a lot of friends. Now, there are different kinds of friends that you can make, and it depends on what kind of rider you're going to be. If you're one of those who likes to go on the group rides and goes to the poker runs and does that kind of thing, then you'll make a bunch of friends there and you'll be doing that. If you're a lone wolf rider, as they call it, if you don't like to ride with a whole bunch of people, then pretty much your only chance for making friends is online. That's kind of how I did it. Made a bunch of friends through YouTube, ridden with many of them. None of them live nearby. So get ready to make some friends. It's a good way to do it. Disabuse yourself of the notion that you can drink and ride. There is no safe bar hopping. You have people buying motorcycles, so this is a bar hopper. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Bar hopper? Are you nuts? Drinking and riding? I've done it. You can see plenty of videos of me doing it. Not drinking a whole lot, but like 2 beer boot run is a video I did years ago. I cringe now. I do not drink and ride. It's hard enough keeping your head on straight sober. And a lot of the accidents you'll see happen because of that. Here's something that people don't really talk about. Don't ride at night, especially if you've been drinking. You can ride at night, sure, there's headlights and all that. People say, I love riding at night. I'm talking like 11 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's dangerous as hell. Deer, drunk drivers, a lot of drunk bikers. I know a couple of guys that were drinking real bad. They got on their bikes doing 100 miles an hour down the highway. One guy passed a car on the left, the other guy passed the same car on the right. And when they joined back in the middle again, they smashed into each other and died. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Goodness, that was dangerous. Another thing, when you're riding a motorcycle, you're never done. You're never done learning. Consider it a lifelong learning thing. And don't feel like less of a biker because you're new. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. Tell you they're real and you're not. We're all out here on 2 wheels. We all share the danger. We all share the passion. So jump right in. Make sure you get trained. And you're going to see all kinds of good stuff. Vistas and experiences that are going to change your life. And of course you're going to have the funny stuff too, like the age-old argument, should I go dark side? People will argue endlessly about that. Or, should I get a metric or a Harley? Oh God, it never ends. Should I use high octane or should I use regular gasoline? You know, a regular unleaded gasoline. That never ends, ever. So don't take it too seriously, for goodness sake. Have fun. Alright, it's my Kaylee 7. Should you ride a motorcycle? Hell yeah.